The hum of the tires had been a constant companion until a deafening boom shattered the calm. The car lurched violently, then limped to a halt. A quick check confirmed my worst fears. A shredded tire, beyond repair. Nightfall was already painting long shadows across the desolate highway. With no cell service and the nearest town miles away, I started walking. After what felt like an eternity, a beacon appeared in the distance, the flickering neon sign that said, "Burgers, nothing but the best." Perhaps I could catch a break. The bell above the door jingled as I stepped in. The air hung thick, the aroma of grilled meat. There were hardly any customers, but the one that stood out was an obese man hunched over the counter, devouring a burger with a primal hunger. I sat down, the counter sticky beneath my fingers. I glanced at the large man and asked if he knew where the nearest auto shop was, and he asked, "Flat tire?" I was confused as to how he knew. The large man sighs. "Damn tires. They popped on me a few miles back. These roads are crap, I tell you." He shrugs, resignation in his eyes. "Guess I'm stuck here for a while." Then suddenly, a filthy butcher emerged from the back. His smile was wide and unsettling, a glint of steel visible beneath his stained apron. "Howdy, partner. What can I get for you?" His drawl was thick as molasses. "I'll just have a cheeseburger, please," I replied. "And do you know if there's an auto shop nearby?" The butcher chuckled, a low rumble in his chest. "A cheeseburger coming right up." He paused, wiping his hands on his apron, his smile never faltering. "Now, an auto shop. Well, partner, you're looking at pretty much the only establishment for miles. You won't find any mechanic or garage out here." The large man got up from his seat with a faint wheeze and asked the butcher where the restroom was. The butcher pointed to the corner of the diner. "In the back, big guy." The large man walked with heavy breathing and into the door. The sound of the door closing echoes behind him. As I waited there, I looked around. The fluorescent lights hummed, casting a sterile glow on the checkered floor. The ketchup bottles on the table seemed a bit too red, the shadows in the corners a bit too dark. An unease settled over me. I couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't quite right about this place. The butcher slides over my cheeseburger. "Here you go, friend. Nothing but the best. Enjoy." I hesitated, burger halfway to my mouth. I lowered it slowly, my eyes fixed on the butcher. He was taking the obese man's belongings that he had left in his seat. When he noticed that I was staring at him, he smiled and said, "I'll just hold on to this till he comes back. Wouldn't want anyone stealing it." "Sure," I said. I take a bite of the burger, but the taste is lost on me. My mind races, trying to piece together the puzzle. Why would the butcher be so quick to grab the man's belongings? And why did he feel the need to explain himself? It's not like he has a lot of customers, especially one that would steal the man's stuff. I take another bite, then instantly recoil, spitting the bite of burger into my plate. A wave of nausea washes over me as I stare at what is unmistakably a finger, severed and bloodied. The diner seems to fade into a blurry background as my mind struggles to process what I just discovered. My heart pounds in my chest, adrenaline coursing through my veins. I got up and stumbled into the restroom, gagging. The greasy smell of the burger, mixed with the metallic tang of blood, churned my stomach. I pushed open the door and suddenly tumbled forward, sprawling down a flight of stairs. The world spins as I hit the concrete floor. Dazed and disoriented, I pushed myself up and looked around, my eyes slowly adjusting to the dim light. There isn't a restroom. I'm in a basement, a dark, damp space filled with strange equipment. I creep further into the basement. The air is thick with the smell of mildew and something else. Something metallic and sickeningly sweet. And the sounds of wet hacking. I move slowly. The sounds grow louder. Closer. I peeked through a doorway, and what I saw made my blood run cold. It was the obese man from earlier, covered in blood. The butcher stands over him, hacking away with a cleaver. He turns to a hulking meat grinder, its metal maw stained a disturbing shade of crimson. Without a shred of remorse, he shoves the entrails into the grinder's opening. The machine groaned and whirring as it chews through flesh. A cascade of pulped meat and bones splattered into a waiting bin, destined to become beef for unexpected customers. The sight is so profoundly wrong, so utterly devoid of humanity, that I step back and my heel snags upon a box of road spikes. The butcher hears my commotion and marches his way over and spots me. I get back up and try to rush out of the door, but the butcher throws his cleaver at me, and it hits my back. I fell once more. The butcher's meaty hands clamp down on me, dragging me further into the depths of the basement. And there, the hulking meat grinder looms in the corner. The butcher shoves my head in the grinder's opening. I struggle to free myself, but the butcher's grip is unyielding. With a guttural chuckle, the butcher tightens his grip. "Looks like you'll be on the menu." Just when all hope seems lost, I spot a knife beside the table, summoning every last ounce of strength. I reach for the handle and plunge the blade into the butcher's side. The butcher roars in pain, his grip loosened just enough for me to break free. I grab the door, but it doesn't budge. Locked. Panic claws at my throat. I glance back at the butcher. The keys, they're dangling from the butcher's waist. It's a desperate gamble, but I have no choice. With a surge of adrenaline, I lunge at the butcher, grabbing for the keys. The butcher roars, swatting at me. I snatch the keys and shove the butcher back with all my might. The butcher stumbles backward and tumbles into the meat grinder. The blades whir to life, tearing through flesh and bone. His screams echo through the basement. With trembling hands, I fumble with the keys, finally unlocking the door. I burst out of the basement and into the night, not stopping until I'm far away from the burger joint. I run until my lungs burn, my heart pounding in my chest. Reaching the highway, I stick out my thumb, desperate to escape this nightmare. A kind-looking truck driver eventually stops, offering me a ride. I gratefully accepted, recounting my terrifying ordeal as they speed down the road, putting as much distance as possible between me and the roadside diner.